Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. I have a holiday eye-opener about the gifts that you are about to give. Also, my dear Danielle, I don't think you know how seriously stressed out Brandon is. Tell her, look at her and tell her for the first time. And you ask me, can I afford it? Why do you want a treadmill?
I love being outside, Susie, but I live in Chicago, and the weather gets rough during the winter.
You don't have to explain. I'm from Chicago. The wind blows. Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I have a holiday eye-opener for you that I want you to listen to and see before you go out there to spend all your money on these gifts. Now, there are 11 days until Christmas. And you know and I know that this is the time that you go out and you spend your money on gifts that you really hope are going to be memorable, that people will love these gifts for the rest of their lives. And you want to give something that means something to somebody. All right. Before you do that, however, I want you to take a look at this eye-opening video.
I have no idea what I got for the holidays last year.
No, I only remember one thing. I usually don't remember what I get.
Unless it's something really big, I really don't remember.
I don't remember anything else. Is that awful?
I remember a few things I got.
Let me think about that.
Oh my goodness.
Last year?
No, I don't think I do.
Ooh, what did I get last year?
I don't think so.
I don't really remember what I got.
What I got for the holidays? I really don't. I have no idea. I don't remember what I got.
No.
On a normal basis, I wouldn't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday.
Do you get it, people? Did you just see how the majority of people in that situation, when asked, do they remember what they got last year for Christmas, they don't have a clue? You probably are still paying the minimum payment due on that gift that you bought last year, and they can't even remember what you got them. So open your eyes. Let's see this situation very clearly. These are the days you know that you are going to get hooked into spending money. Now, if you got money, you don't have credit card debt, you have an emergency fund, you're funding your retirement plan, I don't care. Go out there and spend money on people. That's up to you. But if you're like most people today that have credit card debt, they don't have an emergency fund, they're not fully funding their retirement accounts, they don't know how they're going to pay their student loans, they don't know anything and how they're going to make it, what are you thinking? This is the time of year to celebrate who you are and how you feel, not to spend money you don't have to impress people that in some circumstances you don't even know or like. So therefore, can we just remember the video that you just saw? Can you just remember that everybody forgets what they've been given? And can you take this holiday time now to celebrate the truth of the situation and give each other gifts, personal gifts that don't cost you anything, but personal gifts that really will be a remembrance for yourself as well as those that you give it to. And that's called the gift of love. Now to my one-on-one. Danielle and Brandon are here from Detroit. Danielle is 33 and Brandon is 34. They've been married 9 years and have 2 children, ages 3 and 5 months. Brandon works on commission for a mortgage lender, and Danielle is a stay-at-home mom who makes a little money from a very part-time job. Here's the problem. Danielle and Brandon can't get ahead because once their bills are paid, they have no money left at the end of the month. And Brandon isn't even putting money in his 401k despite the fact that his company matches, and we all know how I feel about that. So they have nothing in retirement, less than $1,000 in an emergency fund, credit card and student loan debt totaling $35,000, and they are underwater on a home they rent out in Georgia. So Danielle, you wrote in, so let's start with you as to what do you think the problem is?
Well, Susie, I wrote in because it's hard to create a budget and stick with a budget, just period, sometimes. But it's also hard when you have a commission-based job and you're not exactly sure how much is going to come in each month. I just don't know how to create a budget, stick with it when he gets so many different checks each, time in the month. Some are commissions, some are base, some are, bonuses, and that kind of thing.
Got it. And Brandon, if you had written in to the Suze Orman Show, what would you say your problem is?
Well, I would say that we have a home that's out of state that we're renting, and I would say that we would probably need more money to cover our bills. We live check to check, and really just want to not so much concerned about Danielle or myself, but really want to put together a plan for my kids. That's really where I'm at. Danielle and I will be fine, but I want to make sure that I can take better care of my children.
Now let me tell you what I think the real problem is.
Okay.
I can tell you how to solve this problem about commission. Easy.
Okay.
I'll even tell you how you will be making more money, hopefully, as we go on. But what I think the real problem here is that, my dear Danielle, I don't think you know how seriously stressed out Brandon is. That I have this gut feeling that...
I have a good idea.
You have a... Does he tell you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He does tell you.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
No, you said I can tell.
No, he doesn't tell me, no.
That's the problem. Because you know something is going on in him that he's not telling you, so you get more stressed out and freaked out because he's not telling you something that you know, and he is totally stressed out and freaked out, which you are. You told my producers you were, Brandon. Yeah. But yet you're not voicing it, so you have disappeared in this equation, and the only thing that matters to you is that your kids are okay. Really, Brandon? Right. Really?
Really?
Because what really has to matter is that the two of you are talking about how you are emotionally, psychologically feeling about the situation that you're in. Honey, I'm afraid. Honey, I feel like I'm a failure. Honey, I don't know what to do. So, Brandon, if you were to tell your wife, Danielle, who you love very, very much, something about how you really feel that you've never said before to her, what would that be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's. I would say probably overwhelmed.
Look at her. Wait. Look at her and look at her. Put your arm around her.
Right.
Right. You like holding her. And tell your wife, the mother of your two children, your greatest fear. Tell her the deepest, darkest secret that you tell yourself every night that you really haven't put into words. Tell her, look at her and tell her for the first time.
Well, I think I've lost control of a lot of different things, and overwhelm is the word that comes to mind. And I think that that's really where I'm at as far as that goes. Is the control piece. I don't feel like I have what I need to take care of things, and really, I think this is a really good thing because we need to get in a better spot, and I think this is really going to be a foundation for that.
Yeah, I know, Susie. I feel like we're at a point where we're young and we're just starting out, but we're old enough now that we should have some roots in somewhere and some plans. And I just don't want to be 30 years down the road where our kids are going off to college. And
Stop.
Okay.
Stop. Your husband just said to you that he feels that he doesn't have control, and you, Danielle, went right back to money. And later, in wanting something, asked me, can I afford it?
I recently graduated from business school. I have a new job, and I want to upgrade my wardrobe.
You want to spend $2,995 on a suit. That is a lot of money, boyfriend. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Tell her the deepest, darkest secret that you tell yourself every night that you really haven't put into words? Tell her, look at her and tell her for the first time.
Well, I think I've lost control of you know, a lot of different things.
Yeah, I know, Suze, I feel like we're at a point where we're young and we're just starting out, but we're old enough now that we should have some roots in somewhere and some plans.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your husband just said to you that he feels that he doesn't have control, and you, Danielle, went right back to money.
Okay.
You did not, in my opinion, give him the emotional response, which is, I hear that, I've known that. I'll pretend like I'm Danielle for a second.
Okay.
This will be interesting for Suze Orman. Brandon, you and I are married. This is a first timer for me. So, but Brandon, honey, I hear you. I've known that. And I don't want you to hurt. You are my hero. I love you. And together, we can do this. We can do this together, but what can I do to make you feel like you have more control, Brandon? How can I help you? What could I do for you, sweetheart? What would you say back to me, Brandon?
What would I say back? I would say, gosh, I don't know. I would probably say, you know what? Keep doing what you're doing with the kids and taking care of them. And I love that. You know, we've got the part-time job. I really, I mean, I really take a lot of it on myself. And you know, I mean, I want to do everything I can so you know, we don't have these kind of conversations. That's a real tough question.
Yeah, but here's the thing, because we could do a whole show on this, is that it shouldn't be a tough question.
No.
It should be a question that you're in touch with each other, and that's the part of your relationship that is missing, which is why after we get through this, you really will be closer. So here's what I think. I think it is very, very important that you talk with each other.
Yeah.
When it comes to the finances, things do have to change. Here's the first thing. You have a house in Georgia that you want to get rid of, but you can't get rid of it because it's underwater, and if you sell it when it's underwater, it's going to hurt your FICO score. So let's take that one stress out of the situation here. The house in Georgia, forget about it.
Okay.
You have a renter in there.
Right.
They're paying you more rent than it's costing you to have the home. So that's positive cash flow.
Right.
So forget about it. Let him stay in the house for as long as he wants to, and don't even worry about that anymore.
Okay.
Brandon, you have an MBA. You are underselling yourself. You are making $40,000 a year, and you have settled. And the reason that you have settled is because you aren't in touch with your emotions. You feel stressed. You feel like if you let go of what's going on in your life, everything will go down.
Yes.
So I think it is important that we look at the finances and we realize no matter how you budget, whether it's $3,900 this month or it doesn't matter. You are not making enough money. Now, I know people are watching this and they're saying, well, why can't Danielle go to work, Suze? And she can't go to work, and I don't want her to go to work.
Right, I don't either.
Because she's staying home with the children. She has a 5-month-old, and if she gets somebody to stay at home with them, she will be paying them more than she will probably be able to make on her own, so it doesn't make any sense. Of course, she can try to do things from home, but that's not the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is you, Brandon, having more faith in yourself and going out there and getting a salary job. The economy's doing better. They're out there now. If you had no's before, that doesn't mean you're going to get a no now. And to go out there but feel positive about where you are in your situation.
I would love that. I've been seeing him, you know, emotionally. I see him beat down quite a bit. In the last couple of jobs he's had, he has been beat down, and where he's to the point where he does feel like he's not worth that. And I know he is. He's a very smart, energetic, and sociable, friendly guy, and I know he can do really good. But I guess I have to say that more.
Suze, I would agree with that. I mean, I've lost some confidence, and Yeah, so I mean, that's something I need to.
All right, now I just got goosebumps, really, everywhere. And when I get goosebumps, I know the truth has just been spoken. So the real question to this is, why have you lost confidence?
That's a good question. I think I've lost confidence because I've lost surety in my decision making. I know we've made some bad decisions, and I think that's really kind of snowballed into, second guessing myself repeatedly on many different fronts all the time, almost to the point where it's, ridiculous on small things. And I think that's part of it. I think that my ability to really, let things go has got to improve. It's not where it needs to be, for sure.
Brandon, every time you doubt yourself, you need to go to Danielle. And Danielle, when he doesn't come to you, you need to go to him and say, sweetheart, you're great. We can do this. And together do this. So here is your plan.
Okay.
Very simple. Danielle, you are going to help Brandon become the man that he was born to be, because he is that man. He's just lost touch with reality here. He's living a financial fantasy that he's less than, when the truth is, you have an MBA, sir, and you are going to go out there and you are going to be paid what you are worth. And when you get paid what you are worth, you are going to get out of debt. You're going to start saving money. You are going to do things that you should do. In the meantime, you are going to start contributing to your 401k plan up to the point of the match, because if you're afraid to do that, that fear permeates everything, and to break you open, you have to take action. And action conquers fear. And the first action you're going to take is start contributing to your 401k plan. You cannot lose that match. You need money, because that will make you feel better about yourself.
Absolutely.
You're not going to pay any attention to the house in Georgia. That's going to take care of itself. We now know, until you do get a job, that on average you spend $3,900 a month, because that is what we found when you did all this paperwork. So the months that you make more than $3,900 a month, let's say 1 month you make $6,000, you are going to take the difference there. And you're going to take $2,100 or whatever it is, and you are going to put that into a savings account. You are not going to touch it. The months that you make only $2,000, you're going to take the difference from your savings account. So now that you know you spend $3,900 a month, you know how to be in control of your money. But the real key here to unlock the door to your personal path to financial freedom is to talk with one another, be honest with one another, support one another, and put your energy into yourselves rather than, Brandon, you carrying it all on those big shoulders of yours. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I want to know if we can afford to spend $13,000 on a New York City extravaganza, especially when I do not know what the big surprise that he has planned is.
The surprise is this, and Can I Afford It Junior?
I want to buy an OtterBox iPhone case.
So here it is. Should I try bouncing it? Oh, it did. It bounced. What do you want to buy?
$650 treadmill.
$2,000 suit.
An OtterBox iPhone case.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Can I Afford It segment. I love this. Anyway, this is where you call in. You tell me what it is that you want to buy, and I make the decision for you. I tell you if you can afford it or not. Are you ready? Let's go. Stephanie, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I would love
Stephanie.
to buy a $650 treadmill.
How come? How come you just don't want to run outside and be outside? And why do you want a treadmill?
I love being outside, Susie, but I live in Chicago, and the weather gets rough during the winter.
You don't have to explain. I'm from Chicago. The wind blows.
Cold, and I'm getting married next May, and I'd like to get in better shape.
That's how it works. You lose weight, you get married, you're married, you gain weight, but that's besides the point. Show me the money, sweetheart.
Susie, my take-home pay is about $4,200 a month.
Yep.
My expenses are $2,516 a month, and that includes $1,050 a month in rent.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say I have no debts, And in savings, I have $36,000 in liquid and $122,000 in retirement.
And you are 34 years of age, and how are you going to pay for this?
I am going to pay for it out of my liquid savings.
You are approved because you have the money to do so. Happy wedding. I hope he signed a prenup. Ryan, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I'm looking to buy a $2,000 suit. I recently graduated from business school. I have a new job, and I want to upgrade my wardrobe.
Are you thin? Will you look hot in that suit?
I think I will.
Because, you know, I'm just wondering, that looks like a suit that's really cut and tailored. Not that you can't look hot if you're not thin, but I was just wondering about that suit. But anyway, you want to spend $1,995 on a suit. That is a lot of money, boyfriend. Show it to me.
So my take-home pay is $5,600 a month. My expenses are $5,477, which includes $2,200 for rent. I currently have about $50,000 in student debt, but in savings, I've got $18,000 liquid, $75,000 in investments, and over $100,000 in my retirement account.
You do you? And how are you going to pay for this?
I was going to put it on my credit card.
You're going to put it on your credit card and then pay it off in full, or little by little as time goes on?
Yeah, hopefully in full, so I don't have any interest payments on the credit card.
But maybe not denied. And let me tell you why you are denied, is that you don't have enough in emergency funds. And at this young age, I don't want you to take money from retirement or investments. I want that money to grow, because $2,000 could turn into a whole lot of money. You could look so hot in a suit that isn't that expensive. Remember, clothes don't make the person makes the clothes. So can't you just go out and get a suit for like $1,000? It's still a lot of money. Shannon, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. My husband and I go on a trip every year to celebrate our anniversary. Our 5-year anniversary is coming up, and we would like to go back to New York City, which is where we got engaged almost 6 years ago. The thing is that my husband is wanting to spend $13,000 to plan a week full of surprises for me. I want to know if we can afford to spend $13,000 on a New York City extravaganza, especially when I do not know what the big surprise that he has planned is.
All right, now question, before I even ask anymore, who pays the bills in your family?
We are both very much financially on the same page.
But so does he pay the everyday bills for the household?
He does.
He does. All right, just asking, so then he might have a good idea as to what you really need and you don't need. Show me the money.
Well, our take-home pay is $7,917 a month combined.
Great.
Our expenses are $6,667 a month. Our only debt is a $255,000 15-year fixed mortgage at 3%. And in savings, we have $7,000 liquid, $34,000 in investments, and $209,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
My husband gets a bonus that should net us around $7,000 after 401k deductions and taxes. And we were planning to take the remaining $6,000 out of our investments.
Out of your investments. Well, then that's easy, because look, you have $34,000 in investments, so you are denied. And because your gut, Shannon, is correct. You are so short on an emergency fund, I can't tell you. So even with that $7,000 bonus, that should be going into your emergency fund. Because if something really horrible happens, anything can happen at any time. There goes your investments, there goes your retirement. The surprise is this: stay at home and have him do something for you that will just shock you, and you'll still get to have all of that money. Pat, what do you want to buy?
Well, Susie, I would like to purchase a golf cart.
A golf cart?
A golf cart. I recently built a little getaway home in the mountains, and the development that I am in allows golf carts. So all summer long, when I had to go to the lake or to the clubhouse, I had to pull up with my car while all the other development members have golf carts. So I feel left out.
Now, do you feel that Suze Orman could relate to a golf cart?
I think you can.
I can because, listen, I actually have a picture of one. Take a look at it. This is me on my golf cart. Notice that the name is Approved 2 on it. That's what it's named. And so I love my golf cart. Show me the money.
Okay, my take home is $66.66 a month.
Yeah.
My expenses are $35.71 a month.
Yeah.
For debt, I have $80,000 30-year fixed mortgage and a $50,000 HELOC.
Yes.
In savings, I have $94,000 liquid, $170,000 in investments, and $285,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, I could either use a low-interest HELOC that I have open with nothing on it, or I could use my savings. I really don't like paying interest.
All right, so here's the decision. And I know I said I love golf carts, but you are 50 years of age, and I do have to look at the numbers. So I'm so sorry to say you have been approved.
Oh, thank you.
But what I do want you to do is I want you to get rid of that HELOC. I want you to refinance your home, lock in these low interest rates so that you don't have to worry about when interest rates go up, that HELOC's going to become more expensive. And now we're going to Can I Afford It, Junior? You know, a lot of you may not know, but a lot of kids watch the Suze Orman Show, sometimes on their own, sometimes with their parents. They can be 7, 8, 10. Some people come up to me and say, Suze, I've watched you my entire life. But this segment is where somebody under the age of 16 calls in and they ask me if they can afford or not to buy what they want. So, Hannah, what is it that you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to buy an OtterBox iPhone case.
An OtterBox? What is an OtterBox iPhone case?
It's an iPhone case, but it's really, really protective.
It's protective because why?
Because it's very bouncy.
It's $60, right, Hannah?
Yeah, $60.
All right. Is that a lot of money just before we go to your money? Do you think $60 is a lot?
Yeah, I do think $60 is a lot of money, but I want to make sure my iPhone is safe and doesn't break.
You got it. How much was your iPhone, by the way?
Well, I got it for $200.
You got it for $200. So you're going to spend 30% of what that phone cost you just for a cover, correct?
Yes.
That's a lot of money. Show me the money.
Okay. Well, I make $25 a month for babysitting. I have no expenses. I have $8,543 in my savings account from gifts, bat mitzvah, and babysitting. And I have $65 at home.
In your piggy bank. How are you going to pay for this?
From my liquid savings.
From your liquid savings. How come you're not going to take it from your piggy bank?
Because I always, I just want to make sure that I don't want to run out of money.
All right, girlfriend, now that I know you are so responsible with your money, and by the way, I have just been handed a case that's an otter case. I literally thought, you want to know what I thought, Hannah? I thought it had little pictures of little otters all over it. I didn't get that. So here it is. Should I try bouncing it? Oh, it did. It bounced. Did you all see this? Watch this. I love that. Anyway, Hannah, guess what? Yes. You are approved, girlfriend, because you have.
Thank you so much.
Oh, so you go out there, you're being responsible, you're earning the money by babysitting. And by the way, I'm looking at a picture of you right now. You are a very stunning young lady. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? Like Hannah, how long have you been watching the Suze Orman Show? You can do so simply by doing what? Go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you'll find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me right here. And if we choose you, you are going to get a T-shirt with my decision on it just for you. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze. Can you really kick your leg all the way up?
Actually, we don't kick as high as you think we do.
I can barely kick this big. And later, we tend not to talk about money. We tend not to tell each other how we are feeling about money. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are in the control room at CNBC headquarters. So many ways that you can partake in the Suze Orman Show. Now, you are to take a look at your screen right now. You can send in an email. You can join me or like me on Facebook. Or if you do this, just simply send in a tweet. Put hashtag AskSuze. The tweet comes in here. And if we choose it, your tweet will be on the air. Let's see what's trending right now. All right, we have it. USC Trojans for life. All right, how young is too young for a credit card? Oh, well, that's an interesting question. Because truthfully, there are some people that will never be old enough to have a credit card because they are financially irresponsible. But just let's say you are. You know, in 2010, the Credit Card Act changed a lot of things. And essentially what it said was, if you are under the age of 21, you are going to have a co-signer for any credit card that you take out, unless you can prove that you are financially responsible and able to pay back credit card debt. So in most cases, the age is 21 or older, unless you want a co-signer. Let's see what else is trending. Oh, well, this is an interesting name, at Condiner or Ice. All right. Huge fan, becoming a financial advisor in my 20s. I'd love that for you. Anyway, I seek to be transparent and educate. Any advice for new financial advisors? Here's what I would tell you. Always do what is right versus what is easy. Don't be afraid to tell your clients that you're new at this. Don't be afraid to tell them the truth about yourself when you don't know something. Also, do not take it for granted when you work for a financial institution that what they tell you to do and what they tell you you should be selling to your clients is something that you should be selling. Because remember, the bottom line of most financial advisory firms is that they make money. So just be ethical. Never do something where you can make money if your client has a way to do the same thing and not have to pay for it. And always tell people how much money you are going to make off of them. Let's go to the webcam right now. I'm so excited. Why am I so excited? It takes a lot to get me excited, because I hear we have a rocket coming to me right now. Machiko, are you really a rocket?
Yes, I am, Susie. How are you?
Good. Can you really kick your leg all the way up?
Actually, we don't kick as high as you think we do.
Why's that?
So, but I definitely can kick really, really high.
I can barely kick this big, but anyway. What were you going to say? What were you saying?
Oh, our kicks are eye height.
Eye height. That's like here. That's still pretty good. But let's see what you need to ask me. Girlfriend, what do you want to know?
Yes, my home is just about paid off, except for $36,000 left on a home equity line of credit of 4.49%. I do have that $36,000 in a bank account currently, along with at least a 12-month emergency fund. But I would love to be completely debt-free of my home. Although I was wondering if there is somewhere else that I could possibly be investing my $36,000 somewhere else currently.
So let me ask you this question. Do you know anywhere that you can guarantee yourself a 4.49% return no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens on the national home front? Do you know any place that you can do that?
At this moment, I don't believe I can.
Therefore, for two reasons, you should absolutely pay it off. Number one, you can guarantee yourself a 4.49% return, and there have been years that people would have loved to have just gotten a 4.49% return on their money. But number two, you said you would love to be debt-free. Any move you make that makes you feel great, that makes you feel secure, because remember, the goal of money is for you to feel secure, is a move you should make. So kick it into action, girlfriend, and pay it off. All right, everybody, let's go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next. Eileen wants to know, Susie,
how are we doing? I'm worried that we aren't prepared financially if something were to happen to him now.
What you are really asking me is this. If your husband were to drop dead today, would you be okay?
That's exactly my worry.
Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. I'm 52 and my husband is 61. He's already retired and took the 50% joint survivorship option on his pension. I'm worried that we aren't prepared financially if something were to happen to him now. My goal is to make sure we've planned well for any unexpected life situations and have all our ducks in a row so we can enjoy our retirement to the fullest. Susie, how are we doing?
Oh, Ilene, you have a handsome husband there, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah, well, so do I, and I think that's an incredible compliment. But so I'm looking at your finances here. We're going to talk about your finances in a second and if you can meet your goal. But what you are really asking me is this. Let's be really clear about it. If your husband were to drop dead today, would you be okay?
That's exactly my worry.
All right, so let's answer that question for you. But if you were going to give yourself a grade, if that were to happen, what grade would you give yourself?
Probably a B- or a C+.
Let's show everybody your finances. Here we go. Ilene is 52 and Joseph is 61. They have $258,381 in their retirement, about $114,000 in emergency funds, $37,000 in investments. Their home is worth $845,000, and they have total assets, because they have no debt whatsoever, of $1,255,808 as a net worth with total assets there. Their take-home income right now after taxes is $10,935. Their monthly expenses are $7,952. Their monthly savings that they put away every single month and invest or save it is $2,582, and that still leaves them about $400 a month to do anything they want with it. If it were me giving you a grade, which it is, I would give you a B. So I give you a higher grade than you're giving yourself. Ilene, isn't it true that your husband says to you, Joseph says to you, sweetheart, you don't have to worry. If something happens to me, you'll sell the house, and that's another almost $1 million, so you'll be just fine, sweetheart? Does he say that to you?
Absolutely. He does not worry. He's not a worrier.
But here's what he doesn't understand. When you have lost somebody that you are so in love with, you are paralyzed for a good 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, or very possibly for years after the loss of that love. And the one thing that you don't want to do at that point in time is you don't want to have to sell your home. Because that's where you feel comfortable, that's where you feel secure. You don't want your entire life having to change everything at once. So when somebody loses somebody, they tend to stay in their house unless they're forced to sell it for a pretty long time, and maybe even forever. So given that I have to assume that you're going to want to stay there for a while, here's how it breaks out. After Joseph has died, your expenses will drop to about $4,800 a month, which is a considerable drop from where they are right now at about $7,900. So if he dies and you are still able to work, your after-tax income with everything will be about $7,500 a month. Remember, you are just currently 52 years of age, so you cannot get your access to your SEP IRA. You really don't want to take widow's benefits. So I'm just assuming that that's where we are. So you're great if you can continue to work. However, if for whatever reason you can't continue to work, you were in a car accident, he was killed, you're injured, this is life, people, that's why I bring up these kinds of things, it happens all the time, then your situation looks like you have expenses of still about $4,800 a month, but your income with everything, because he took the 50% joint and survivor benefit, which means you get only 50% of his pension, now will drop to $4,607 per month. So you're just kind of making it if something happens to you where you are injured. So how do we change that? Well, here is your way to an A, and it's so simple I can't even tell you. All we have to do is have Joseph take out a 10-year level, $1 million term insurance policy. He could even take out $2 million 10-year level if he wanted to, which means for the next 10 years, the premium will be level. After 10 years, the insurance goes away. But if something happens to him within the 10 years, you now get this lump sum of money that will replace his pension, and you'll still be more than fine. It will only cost him about $272 a month if it's a $1 million policy. You have $400 a month excess according to your income versus your expenses, so you can afford that. If you just do that, girlfriend, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Coming up next, one more thing I want you to know. Danielle knew that Brandon wasn't feeling great about himself, but she never took the opportunity to help bring him out so he would feel better about himself, because it's about money. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Well, that's almost a wrap for the Suze Orman Show, but before we go, there is still one more thing I want you to know. I absolutely loved my interview tonight with my one-on-one couple, Danielle and Brandon. And what I loved about it is that Brandon, this man, this great man, started to open up for the first time and tell his wife, and they love each other, to tell his wife for the first time things that he's never had the courage to say before.
Well, I think I've lost control of you know, a lot of different things, and overwhelm is the word that comes to mind.
And I'm here to tell every single one of you, it is not just Brandon and Danielle. We tend not to talk about money. We tend not to tell each other how we are feeling about money. Sure, when we have money, we brag about it. We show everybody a fancy car that we're driving. We even show it them when we can't afford it. Fancy car, fancy clothes, we're all covered up when it comes to money. This is the time in everybody's life, if you haven't done it before now, to really start talking with one another. Danielle knew that Brandon wasn't feeling great about himself, but she never took the opportunity to help bring him out so he would feel better about himself, because it's about money. So please take the time to talk with each other about money. When you know something's going wrong, you can feel it. Even if the other person isn't saying something, can you help them help themselves? Now you know. But until next week, there's really only one thing that I never want you to forget, and it's this: people first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe. Bye-bye.